As it relates to fasting the 6 days of Shawaal, and this issue is especially specific to the women, but likewise the men, and it is that when fasting the 6 days of Shawaal, is it a must that a person complete the days that he has to make up, that he missed in the month of Ramadan, before fasting the 6 days of Shawaal, or can he fast the 6 days of Shawaal first, and then make the days up later? The reason for the difference of opinion as it relates to this issue is a hadith that comes in the Muslim of Imam Ahmad that mentions that whoever fasts an optional fast while having something due upon him from the month of Ramadan, then this would not have sufficed him. This hadith is a weak hadith, it's not authentic. And due to this, the majority of the scholars hold that it is permissible for a person to fast the 6 days of Shawaal first before making up his days of Ramadan. And Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, she said, there would be days upon me to make up from Ramadan, but I would not be able to do so until Sha'ban, due to having to have herself prepared for the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And so some of the scholars, they object to this viewpoint, they refute the using the hadith of Aisha as an evidence for the permissibility of that by saying perhaps Aisha didn't even fast the 6 days of Shawaal. And this is a weak argument. So they say, for example, that if a person has an obligation due upon them, then it is binding upon them to complete the obligation before they go to that which is supererogatory. So they must first complete that obligation and then go to that which is optional thereafter. And this istidlal here is not correct. Why is it not correct? Because the Sahaba, they used to fast Arafat while still having some days from Ramadan to make up. And this has come within some narrations, and the narrations are authentic. So therefore, if it's permissible for a person to do a supererogatory action before he completed the obligatory action, then the same can be said about fasting the 6 days of Shawaal. And so some of them, they use as evidence the wording of the hadith that says that they fast Ramadan and then they follow that up with 6 days of Shawaal. The Shaykh, he says that as it relates to this particular wajh here, then what we say in response to that is that this is the majority case, that the majority case is that the Muslims, they fasted in the month of Ramadan, and then after the Ramadan comes Shawaal. And so the summary of this issue is that the majority of the people of knowledge hold that it is permissible to fast the 6 days of Shawaal first and then make up the days that one has for the month of Ramadan, especially in the case of women, because if they were to be bound to complete what they have from Ramadan first, it would be very difficult upon them to do so. And so therefore the affair is broad as it relates to it. They have much time in order for them to make up their days.